The brother of disgraced National Security Advisor Michael Flynn petitioned President Trump Tuesday on social media, calling on the commander-in-chief to pardon his sibling. The elder Flynn, a retired Army general who served as Trump's national security advisor for 24 days before being fired for reportedly lying to Vice President Pence, pleaded guilty this month to lying to the FBI about his contacts with Russian officials. "About time you pardoned General Flynn, who has taken the biggest fall for all of you given the illegitimacy of this confessed crime in the wake of all this corruption," Joseph Flynn tweeted on Tuesday. The post, deleted about 15 minutes later, was in response to a social media screed from Trump that ripped into the FBI, Hillary Clinton, and a salacious, unverified dossier that alleges collusion between the Trump campaign and the Kremlin. It is widely believed that Michael Flynn cannot rely on a pardon because, as per his plea deal, he has agreed to work with special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. The single charge of lying to federal agents also leaves open the possibility of state charges related to other possible crimes. There are myriad nefarious dealings that Michael Flynn and his son, Michael Flynn Jr., have been part of that could result in state-level charges. In November, it was reported that Flynn and his son allegedly discussed a $15 million scheme for taking part in a kidnapping plot to remove cleric Fethullah Gulen, an opponent of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, from Pennsylvania and return him to Turkey. Michael Flynn's checkered past dates back to his being forced into retirement in 2014 by the Obama administration. He went on to set up a company that accepted speaking fees from Russian entities and later did consulting work for a Turkish-owned business. He joined the Trump campaign and then the administration as an early supporter. In court papers, Flynn admitted that he spoke to the Russian ambassador to the U.S. about sanctions put in place by the Obama administration at the behest of the Trump transition team last December. Joseph Flynn stood by his sibling on Tuesday. Even after deleting his initial tweet, he later doubled down and reiterated his thoughts on letting his brother off the hook. President, I personally believe that a pardon is due to General Flynn, given the apparent and obvious illegitimacy of the manner in which the so-called crimes he pleaded guilty to were extracted from him. I ask for quick action on this. Thank you, and keep up the good work, he wrote. Joseph Flynn and other family members created a legal defense fund in September to help cover the mounting costs associated with the investigation. The younger Flynn told the Associated Press that Michael Flynn was moving on with his life after starting a consulting agency over the summer. Trump, for his part, has not ruled out pardoning Flynn. I don't want to talk about pardons for Michael Flynn yet, the president said earlier this month. Trump said he felt very badly for Flynn and said the FBI had destroyed his life. The president and several fellow Republicans have stepped up their criticism of the FBI in the wake of Michael Flynn's guilty plea. Trump tweeted earlier this month that the agency's reputation was in tatters. He has repeatedly targeted former FBI Director James Comey, whom he in part admitted to dismissing over concerns about the ongoing federal investigation into Russian election meddling and possible connections to his campaign. Comey testified before Congress that Trump, before firing him, asked him if he could see his way clear to letting Flynn go. Mueller was appointed to take over the wide-ranging probe after Comey was fired. Since its inception, Trump has dismissed Mueller's investigations as a witch hunt. But the probe has resulted in a pair of guilty pleas from Flynn and former Trump campaign advisor George Papadopoulos. Mueller has also brought significant criminal charges against Trump's former campaign manager Paul Manafort and his deputy and business associate Rick Gates. A tweet sent from the president's account in the days following Flynn's plea claimed that he was fired for fibbing to the feds, complicating matters further. Meanwhile, Michael Flynn Jr. has been on his own social media crusade of late. Flynn defended his father's old boss and his golf habit on Tuesday, tearing into reporters who shared stories about the president hitting the links in Florida while promising to get back to work.